I think that's a big part. I think a lot of coaches get influenced by the content that they see from the gurus or whatever like that, and they kind of want to project themselves as invincible, have no problems, perfect. But that's just going to do the opposite of what you want it to do. It's just going to make people not resonate with you. Think this guy's either fake or he's not kind of the same as me, and people want to work with people who are similar to them and who they get on with, which is why it's really important to be yourself to attract people that you actually do get on with. Saves you a lot of headaches with the clients. I think it's really easy to draw down on the stories that you've had, the experiences. What I would do is just DM people, anyone, you search for them in your social media, search for your target audience, ask them what problems are they having, what issues, and just make content based off that. Because the chances are, if you're an experienced coach, you've helped people like that before, or you've been there yourself, which is even better. Um, and it's good to show your own transformation. It really does. It really does resonate
Yeah.
because if you've done it for yourself, people are going to trust you to do it for them as well.
Yeah. That's probably the truth, is it? Sharing your own experiences, how that's worked for you, how that's helped other people, and then using that DM strategy, that content, to try and find those like-minded people. But for me, as a coach, you can't lead others down a path if you haven't walked it yourself. I think that's crucially important.
Yeah.
The amount of 20-year-old life coaches I see, or people that are only ever sort of going into, the start of life, how the hell can they teach others? I think sometimes that's why accountability is great, isn't it? Having the coach trap, having other people say to you, look, let's be honest, it's not going to work, but this might work.
Yeah.
Like the story we had with the doctor, coming back to him, when he come to us and he said, Greg and Dan, I want to know why I'm not getting clients. We were like, a doctor turned life coach isn't quite going to work. What can you give? And that's when you found that magic question that people were looking for, wasn't it? How to look, how to feel 5 years younger. That changed everything for him, wasn't it? Niching down, finding something specific based on the experiences and the skills that he's got. He found that sweet spot. He marketed it. He won. Yeah.
Yeah.
But going on off of that, any other sort of like initial mistakes that you see coaches make, or giveaways you think that maybe they're new, or maybe they've not quite found that niche down, or they've found that target market?
Yeah, mostly it's just vague advice. It's vague platitudes, stuff like that. They might get a few likes. Is it actually going to turn into anything? Probably not. And that's why they quit, because they think they're getting results, but at the same time they're not getting results. So they're just confused. They don't know what's going on. They quit. And it's obviously uncomfortable to share those experiences that you've had and that you've helped people with. But it's going to pay off, and it's going to actually help a lot more people. Which is why most coaches are in it for, and why most coaches do struggle with marketing, because they're the type B type of people that you talk about a lot, who are more focused on helping people rather than making money. But obviously you can't help people if you don't have an income, you don't have food. It's kind of like putting your own oxygen mask on first on the plane so you can help other people, because otherwise it's just not going to work sustainably.
Absolutely. It's like taking advice off an overweight personal trainer. It's not quite going to work, is it?
Yeah.
Sometimes your face fits, your accent, what experiences you've had in life. Like I said, I'm a firm believer you can't lead others down a path if you haven't walked it yourself, if you haven't had those life experiences, those successes. How the hell can you coach someone else?
Yeah.
Going back to that 20-year-old life coach scenario, it doesn't quite work. But some of them are very good on CapCut, very good at creating that content.
This is what I mean by that. They're really good marketers that are usually bad coaches.
Yeah.
So it's getting that balance between that you just become exponentially better than everyone else.
Absolutely.